We've been a leader in banking for more than 100 years. You'll find us here, at home, on your phone, and everywhere you go. Renaissance Bank. Understanding you. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Sponsored by Renaissance Bank.
Good morning and welcome to Daily Journal Newsbreak for Wednesday, March 28th. I'm your host, Vic Schaefer, and we're going to take a look at the top news and sports stories from Northeast Mississippi. But first, let's start with your weather forecast. Today we're looking at thunderstorms. That's an 80% chance of rain with a high of 75 and a low of 62. Looking ahead at your 3-day outlook, Thursday calls for rain. That's a 100% chance of rain with a high of 66 and a low of 44. Friday, partly cloudy skies with a high of 66 and a low of 41. And for Saturday, partly cloudy skies again. The high is up to 71 and the low is at 50. Let's take a look now at today's top headlines. Second-term Tupelo Mayor Jason Shelton has begun to discuss the possibility of entering a statewide special election for U.S. Senate to replace the retiring Thad Cochran. Late last week, the Democratic Tupelo mayor made a posting to his personal Facebook account in which he asked his social media followers for their thoughts on a possible entry into the Senate race. Multiple sources with connections to Tupelo City Hall confirmed that Shelton has voiced interest in seeking the seat. Additionally, Shelton has made inquiries among state political circles about his potential viability as a candidate, according to sources with knowledge of those conversations. When contacted by the Daily Journal this week, Shelton said he was in Kansas City, Missouri on city business. He later sent a written statement that congratulated Cochran on his distinguished career, but avoided discussion of his intent. Cochran will formally retire on Sunday. The November special election will be to complete Cochran's current term that ends in January 2021. Governor Phil Bryant has tabbed Republican Agriculture Commissioner Cindy Hyde-Smith to fill Cochran's seat until the election, and Hyde-Smith has indicated that she will run to hold the seat. Other announced candidates include Republican Chris McDaniel and Democrat Mike Espy. 36 school and community leaders from across Northeast Mississippi gathered on Tuesday morning to discuss ways to make their schools safer and more secure. Lee County School District Superintendent Jimmy Weeks said he started thinking about the need for such an event after a wave of social media threats of possible campus violence led to concerns at several schools across the region. The district joined with prior Memorial Architects to bring in Georgia-based youth protection consultant Les Nichols. The School Safety Security Summit drew school leaders from as far away as Holly Springs and Tishomingo County. Nichols told those gathered that it is important to be proactive and anticipate threats. While schools must be prepared for active shooter scenarios, they are more likely to face situations like severe injuries, suicide attempts, and even irate parents confronting front office staff. Nichols advised school officials to look at various scenarios when trying to develop school safety plans tailored to fit their needs. Plans need to be based on effective strategies that are proven and can be measured to show continuous improvement. Mississippi lawmakers still can't agree on how to spend part of the state's compensation from the 2010 Deepwater Horizon oil spill. The Associated Press reports that House and Senate negotiators missed a Monday night deadline to create a plan for distributing what will eventually amount to more than $700 million in economic damages from the oil company BP plc. The failure likely means already collected money will stay banked in the state's rainy day fund for another year. Representative Scott Delano of Biloxi and Senator Bryce Wiggins of Pascagoula both said Tuesday that negotiators came close to an agreement on House Bill 1185. It would have designated 75 to 80% of the money to projects on Mississippi's Gulf Coast. Although Lieutenant Governor Tate Reeves and senators had previously taken the position that all money should go to coastal counties, a number of non-coastal House members had voiced support for spending the money on roads and bridges statewide. Mississippi is being paid the money over a series of years in returns for lost tax revenue after a 2010 explosion released millions of barrels of oil into the Gulf of Mexico. And in sports, Mississippi State head women's basketball coach Vic Schaefer came to the school 6 years ago with a plan to turn the Bulldogs into a national power. At the time, he was coming off a national championship as an assistant coach at Texas A&M in 2012, and he set out to bring the same level of success to Starkville. But that success was not immediate. His first Bulldog team in 2012-2013 finished 12th in the Southeastern Conference and was blown out by an average of 27.1 points in its league losses. The Bulldogs reached the WNIT quarterfinals in his second year and advanced to the second round of the NCAA tournament in year 3. They've been in the tournament every year since and will make their second straight Final Four appearance this weekend. Schaefer and his staff have built the program from the ground up without the luxury of many blue-chip prospects. He said the recipe has been to recruit, retain, and develop. He focuses on players who fit into their system, play hard, and are committed. The team style of play has endeared itself to the Bulldogs fan base, which has seen rising attendance in each of Schaefer's 6 seasons. Up next for the Bulldogs is a matchup with Louisville in the national semifinals on Friday. The game will tip off at 6 p.m. in Columbus, Ohio, and can be seen on ESPN2. The winner will play either UConn or Notre Dame in the national championship game on Sunday. And that does it for Newsbreak on this Wednesday. Don't forget that this show is just one of the many online offerings courtesy of the Daily Journal that gets you news off the page and on the go. Listen to the Prep Rally podcast for the latest in Northeast Mississippi high school sports with hosts Brad Locke and Dalton Middleton. Look for a new episode this afternoon in Apple Podcast or Google Play, or on our website at preprally.djournal.com. And each story discussed on Newsbreak can be found in your Daily Journal or online at djournal.com, where you can also find a new episode of Newsbreak each weekday morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Chris Schaefer. Have a great Wednesday.